Everyone, MeNoHaxor here, bringing you guys a 2017 Season 7 Janna commentary, which is quite exciting. I apologize for not really having done much in the last month, and that's mostly because I really wanted to make sure I hit Challenger when the season started, so that way the quality of my games are still very high. So I pretty much grinded to Challenger, took not that long, maybe a few weeks, and then now that I'm here, now I know the quality of my games will be good, so hopefully these commentaries will still be interesting. So in this lane matchup in particular, it's going to be a Ashe MeNoHaxor versus Caitlyn Janna, and recently MeNoHaxor has been getting picked a lot, mostly because his Voidling damage is extremely high, and most AD carries have started to shift more towards a utility role, so a lot of damage supports have been very popular, and because MeNoHaxor has such high damage, some of the best supports against MeNoHaxor are people like Zyra and Misfortune, and so that's kind of why you're not really seeing a lot of the more traditional like tank supports or even a lot of the appealing supports like Janna. But I felt that Janna was okay in this matchup, mostly because I think that our team doesn't really have an answer to Zac in particular, and I felt that by picking Janna, we can do a lot better in teamfights against Zac. But this also means that because I picked Janna, my laning phase isn't going to be quite as strong, especially against someone like MeNoHaxor. So in this lane matchup, I'm not really looking to trade aggressively because I know the MeNoHaxor can pretty much out-trade me all the time. Like you can see right here, the Voidlings are just going crazy on the Caitlyn. She already took a lot of damage, so I had to shield her, and I had to also tornado the creeps, or tornado the Voidlings so that they stopped hitting the Caitlyn. And just doing that alone cost me a lot of mana, and we already lost the trade. And so that just kind of shows how powerful MeNoHaxor can be early on. But once again, not really looking to do too much. I'm just going to keep shielding Caitlyn whenever she's about to take damage. And then we can just look to farm and wait for our teammates to come, because we have a Twisted Fate, we have Evelynn. Once they hit 6, they're really good at helping us to win like big bot skirmishes. So we're just going to look to play safe. I even took an extra point into E at level 3, and not even took a point into W, because I know I'm never going to use W on either of them in this matchup, so I'd rather just make sure I have another point in E so that it's a little bit of a bigger shield. It's not really a big deal that I put E over W at level 3, but I think it's just a slight adaptation to this matchup, and I think that adapting your skill points is always a nice thing to think about. And if you don't like positioning in a lot of these trades, I'm standing kind of far away from Caitlyn, but close enough to where I can also tornado. So you can see right here I tornadoed just to delay the MeNoHaxor, and now we see the Zac is coming, so so now we just have to keep running. And I was hoping that Caitlyn would flash here, because you can see where the shadow is landing, but she didn't flash. She got really greedy, and because of that she died, and we gave up first blood, which really sucks. I feel like that was just a huge misplay in Caitlyn's part to not flash. You could also argue that it was a misplay on my part to use a tornado, but I needed to tornado the MeNoHaxor so that way he could stop, going rampant on the Caitlyn. But that's not too big of a loss, I would say. Like, we're keeping up in CS pretty well, and they haven't been able to push the lane, so we're in an okay spot right now. Now, if you look right here, because Caitlyn put a word back here, the Twisted, or not the Twisted Fate, the Jace decided to teleport here. So once I see that he's gonna come, I immediately start channeling a tornado, and you can see I'm gonna go for the full channel duration tornado, because that way, if I launch it this way, and the Ashe starts retreating, it'll 100% hit the Ashe for a really long amount of time, and that will pretty much guarantee us the kill. You can see that after doing that, she has to flash that, otherwise she'll get hit. And because she has no flash, this is just a super easy kill for Jace, because she gets knocked back by the Jace, and we clean her up very easily. So that was pretty good for us. This is also nice because the lane was shoved really far, so we can freeze the lane now. I'm just going to go ahead and recall in the bush. Caitlyn's going to do her best to freeze the lane, and now we're actually at a decent spot. I really wish the Caitlyn didn't buy Berserker Greaves. I feel that it's not really good as a first item. I think Boots Cole is probably better and just saving out your money for a BF sword, but that's okay. I went ahead and with my 900 gold, I bought the upgrade for Nomads, Boots, and a Control Ward. I could have gone for a Sightstone, but I didn't really want to get a Sightstone, mostly because I feel that we win this lane by being passive, and I feel that even if I have a Sightstone, it doesn't really matter because as long as I have my Tornado up, I can dodge Zac ganks because he can't ever slingshot inside if I'm a good Janna player. So I'm very confident in my abilities, so I decided not to go Sightstone and go a very greedy route. Yeah. Once again, not looking to try to trade with my autos, standing really far back, letting Caitlyn do all the work. Yeah, there isn't really much to say. Janna lanes are generally pretty boring. But teamfights will get a lot more interesting later on, as you'll see. So, I see that Evelynn does want to fight. Twisted Fate also just ults in really early. I feel like this is just really uncoordinated, because Twisted Fate goes on the Malzahar, which, first of all, I think that's just not right. Malzahar flashes, and if we went on the Ashe first, that would have been way easier, because we know she doesn't have flash. But I actually had to end up flashing, get the Tornado off. Twisted Fate keeps going in, which I'm not really sure why. He missed the card right there, which is huge, because he died to the Malzahar. Evelynn was forced to use flash here. Corgi comes up to clean me, and I ult to try to survive, but I think I ulted a little too late. I didn't have vision because of this pink ward that the enemy team placed, so I couldn't see the Corgi walking in, so I just died. Now Evelynn has to run, so that was a 2-for-2 trade, which really shouldn't have happened at all if we just focused targets a bit better and had better target selection. But, it's not that big of a deal. At least, we're doing relatively well in this lane matchup. The only bad thing now is that I don't have my ult, and Malzahar does, so we do have to be pretty careful about not dying or getting hit by a Mal's ult. Ashe also has arrow too, so we just have to be extremely safe. Now I really have to make sure I'm just not standing close to the Caitlyn, because if the Caitlyn gets CC'd, then I have to be the one to bail her out, and if I get CC'd, we just both die. So it's really up to me to make sure that my positioning is perfect and that we don't get super wrecked. Like you can see right here, once they saw the Caitlyn is positioning, they just jump on her. And I don't know if you caught this, but let's actually rewind this because this is pretty important. So I don't really have a good way of stopping Malzahar because he has his passive up. So if I just Tornado the Malzahar immediately, that won't break the passive. So once I see this coming, the Malzahar hasn't even ulted yet, but I know that the Malzahar will go up for the ult. So I'm just gonna go for the W into the immediate Tornado, so that way my W broke the spell shield, so that way the CC would land on the Malzahar, and that would stop the ult channel immediately, and then now the Caitlyn is able to walk out. So the order of my spells was super important there, because if I did not W first, the Malzahar ult still would have gotten off, and any small amount of time longer on that Malzahar ult would definitely kill the Caitlyn. So it was really good that I did the order of my spells right, and now their ults are down, so they don't have any more kill pressure, which is really good for us. So we can just continue to farm without having to worry too much, which is quite nice. Yeah, sure, Caitlyn's about half health, but once again, like, they don't have kill pressure. They don't have any hard CC anymore, so we're just gonna chillin'. It's good. I can just give Caitlyn a shield, and she can last hit under the tower pretty easily, so I don't have to do too much work. Yeah, this is the only bad part, because now their ults do come back up. So now I also have my ult. So once again, they're going to go for the CC. I go for the W ult just in case the Malzahar passive was going to be back up. I wasn't too sure. But this is where Caitlyn kind of makes a mistake. So you see there's going to be Voidlings right here. There's actually 2 of them. And the Caitlyn continues to fight while she's in this pool and while the Voidlings are attacking her. So I really wish she'd back off right now, because you never want to fight in the Voidlings. That's just a huge mistake. But she ends up choosing to move forward instead of backwards. So I'm just trying to save her, like throw an exhaust or a shield, really doing my best. But you can see that the Voidling damage was so much, and Caitlyn also missed her net because the Ashe flashed into this bush. And now, yeah, the Caitlyn just dies to the Malzahar bugs. So that was just, I think, a poor decision by Caitlyn to continue fighting like that. We disengaged, there was no real need to force the all-in, especially when we were perfectly able to escape that. but I guess it didn't matter too much because Twisted Fate came in. You can see right here, like, once again, note that when the Twisted Fate came in, and he went for the gold card on the Ashe, I know he's gonna get the kill, right? So there really isn't any point in me trying to help him kill that Ashe right there. And I immediately start running for the MeNoHaxor, so that way I can give him some of my passive. And he also goes here so he can get into range. Take the tower for the Twisted Fate so we can get off free gold cards, and now he gets a double kill. So that was a pretty good setup by me, and he ended up turning that situation around, which is quite good for us. So now finally finished my Sightstone, got some CDR boots as well as some Fairy Charms. Looking to build Redemption as my first item because I think that Redemption is definitely the best support item in the game right now. Always build it first no matter what. It's very, very good. So once again here, Caitlyn's fighting. And do you see how many Voidlings there are? There's 4 of them right now. And Caitlyn is once again, like, choosing to fight this. Like, I don't know why she is. And so I got CC'd by the Ashe era, so I couldn't use a Tornado fast enough. Because of that, I have to run. Like, I shield and flash. Malzahar also flashes. And I barely live. With my boots, I'm able to outspeed the Voidlings to get out. But once again, Caitlyn just making a very bad decision on when to fight when there's 4 Voidlings there. Like, I really don't know what she's thinking. But I guess Twisted Fate kind of salvaged the situation. Go back in with a shield to save him. Gonna go for a Tornado and an ult just to make sure that the Twisted Fate stays alive. And with all that healing, he does stay alive, which is quite good for us. So, well played, well played. Now, I went ahead and got 1 deep ward right here, since realistically, the Zac might be able to jump from really deep in the lane, and so in order to catch that, if he's going to go into the lane, into the bush right here, putting a ward here is really nice. And I know it's really safe to do that because the bot lane died, and so you don't get too many opportunities to get deep vision like this, but if you ever do, I highly encourage you to deep ward in a couple places. Like, this bush is good, one of these 2 bushes is good, or even getting 1 ward right here is really helpful to see vision of the jungler. So went ahead and finished my Forbidden Idol with my extra money. Almost there on the Redemption. So here the Evelynn is in our lane, and I was kind of baiting. So I drop a ward here just to see if they're going to go on me. They do end up arrowing, but at this point the Evelynn was kind of going back, but she finally turns back. Meanwhile, I'm getting Malzahar ults and everything, so this just kind of sucks, right? And I just get super destroyed by the Voidlings. Like, that did so much damage, and I didn't have ult yet, so that was just very unfortunate. And then, the Evelynn does get the kill on the Malzahar with the Red Smite, but we're just really screwed. Like, we get 5-man dove, we just end up dying. So I felt that I perhaps baited a little bit too hard, and we should have just stayed a little bit reserved and waited for Twisted Fate to come with an ult. That probably would have been the better decision, instead of trying to force so hard. Because of that mistake, they're going to take a bot tower, which is really not good, because that means that their bot lane has a really good opportunity to roam a lot. Now, Twisted Fate kind of wants to kill them because they're all very low. I'm making my way down a little bit slowly, but this is just really sketchy overall. Like, he gets slammed into the wall by Poppy, Zac jumps in, they just burst him down. I think he was very impatient because the Jace also just TP'd with the ward I placed over here. And so, like, we're trying to go in, but this is just, once again, really sketchy. I don't know why we're going to try to dive this when they're all so low. We get the kill on the Poppy, but Evelynn tries to go in. I think she misses that Q on the Ashe, so she just dies. I try to ult to save myself, but it doesn't end up working out, and we just end up dying once again. So that was just a really big throw on our part. I think just a lot of miscommunication overall. I think if the Twisted Fate waited for everyone else to come, we definitely would have been able to kill them all. But so that's just a bit unfortunate that we couldn't communicate. Now that the bot lane, or the bot tower is gone, I know that it's really important for me to get some more vision out everywhere on the map. So I started putting some wards across the wall over here and here, and just starting to sweep out the entire area just to make sure that we can see any of their rotations. And since I'm all out of wards, I'm just going to go ahead and recall. There isn't really anything to do right now. Dragon's not spawning yet, so I can go ahead and see if we recall for some more wards. Now, they're just going to siege down mid. I think that's fine. We can definitely hold this with Janna's shields on the tower right here. But I think what's also really good to note is that it's really easy to shield the tower as Janna, but I don't see a lot of people using the tornado very well. So I'm channeling tornado all the way back here because they can't see it from this angle. Like, I wonder if I can shift beam division. Maybe they can't see it. I think if I put it a little bit further back, they wouldn't be able to see it. But I think they just very much did not expect the tornado to be aimed at that kind of angle, because the Corki get hit by the tornado, ends up taking a tower shot, which is quite nice. And because of that, we're just going to go in. With all the shields I have on the tower is still alive. So Evelyn gets a really nice ult off. Gets a lot of damage. And now we can start chasing them really hard. So I sidestep that Poppy ult to make sure I can stay in. I see the Twist of Fate is getting chunked, so I try to ult to keep him alive. Doesn't end up working out, which kind of sucks, but I'm just going to keep on channeling the duration of the ult to heal Evelyn. Shield her as much as possible. And now I'm just going to try to slow down the Ashe. Really just being careful. And now we see the Zac here. So I save my tornado for the Zac. I also flash just in case. But we end up surviving that Zac jump, which is quite good. That's actually, if I rewind that, just so you can see my perspective on this. This ward right here did allow me to see the Zac, so that's why I was able to react accordingly. I think if this ward was not there, I don't think I would have been able to tornado in time. That was quite good that I landed that. Fortunately, I wasn't able to land this one. That was a bit of mistiming on my part, but I'm just trying to stay kind of far back because I'm really low on mana, but I think I have enough mana to help out the Jace. I exhaust the Zac right here just to make sure that he can't get into range for a W, and because of that, Jace is able to get off a Q. I shield the Jace just in case, and now we're able to kill the Zac as well. So that was an okay fight. I feel like it could have gone a lot better if we didn't have to take so much damage, or like we focus targets correctly, because the Twist of Fate, once again, it kind of went in very early, but it's solo queue. Can't be perfect in coordination. I now have Redemption, which is quite good, and I'm going to work towards getting a Ruby Sightstone now, because Vision is very important to this game, and I value that a lot more than any other item at this moment. We get a free pick on the Corki, which is quite good. So now we can look to push mid, make some other plays now that it's 5v4. So I see the Caitlyn gets ulted right here. I'm looking to try to save her, channeling a tornado just in case, but I realized that we saw someone up here, so I decided to just bail, because I know it's not really worth trying to save her. And now we're just running. So what's really important to note is that you saw me kind of walk down this way, but I turned back up here because I don't want to walk in the same direction as the Jace. If I can get the Poppy to chase me upwards, it increases the chance of Jace surviving. And I know that the Poppy can't really kill me, but I ult her just in case, so I can at least circle around down here and regroup with my team. I threw a Redemption down here because I know we're going to fight 100% in this corridor since the Zac started to ult. So I know everyone's going to get the heal off my Redemption. I'm just going to try to Tornado, CC, keep my team alive, with shields and stuff. Someone actually hit that Blast Cone plant, so I got pushed to safety, which is quite good for me. Jace actually ends up doing a lot of damage for it, guys, which is nice. And now I'm just going to go back in, throw some shields and tornadoes and slows. CC the Poppy. Twist of Fate went ahead and went for the Ashe since he knew that the Poppy was going to die to Evelyn and I, and we somehow end up winning that fight. And I think that was mostly because Corki was not in that fight, so good stuff for us. And now we see the Corki is here, so I'm going to start to run up. Get a shield on the Twist of Fate for the free assist, and get another kill. So now things are looking quite good for us. I went ahead and killed that Blast Plant and put a ward here. I killed the Blast Plant because I felt that the Blast Plant would probably help them a lot more than us. So I just killed it and went ahead and recalled since I'm out of wards. So you always note that, like, whenever you're about to recall, at least use up all your wards before you go back, because you might as well, right, since you get a free refresh. Now, with the scrying, we did see that they were doing Baron, so I went ahead and put a pink. And it's really important to put a pink ward instead of a green ward when you're checking for Baron in this kind of situation, because pink wards don't cancel each other out, but if I put a green ward, their pink ward will block the vision that was generated by my ward. So we don't actually know how much HP the Baron's at, and seeing how much HP the Baron's at is super important. So I put the pink ward down. You can see even Evelyn puts down a pink ward, so that way we can actually get vision of it. So we see how much HP it is. It's not too bad, so we're going to look to try to fight them. Now, Twisted Fate, once again, gets CC'd, and you can see, if you look right here, I went for a very aggressive flash ult. I'm going to rewind that just so you guys can see that again. Because there's two really important things I see right now. I see MeNoHaxor is ulting the Twisted Fate. I also see the Zac is charging. So I know that if I stand right here and ult, I can stop both of them at the same time. And that'll be really good for us. So I decided to go for that play. That at least stopped the... That at least gave Twisted Fate time to Zanya's, which, once again, with miscommunication, if he didn't Zanya there, he could pull out a card right now, which would be really nice. The Quirky just wrecks me. He just blew everything up on me, and we still end up losing that fight, unfortunately. Mostly because the Quirky kind of just came out of nowhere. If this ward didn't get cleared, we definitely would have seen the Quirky. So that was just kind of unfortunate that we didn't play that right. I did do, I think, the best of my ability to save us from that fight, but unfortunately it wasn't enough. I actually think if I rewind this, when they go back to Baron, I haven't used my redemption yet, so I believe this is my redemption that damages them. So with the Evelyn, we get a free kill on MeNoHaxor, but unfortunately, I believe they do get the Baron off this. That's okay though. It was worth a try. It's not the end of the world. So now I'm looking to shift some of my wards. I pretty much put one ward in the middle of the lane and one ward down here in case you either try to go to Baron or push mid, which are two pretty logical decisions that would happen if you had Baron, right? Because if I put a deep ward like this, we can at least prepare for them and if they just run it down mid. And if they do end up going to Dragon, they will pass by this ward right here, so we can also prepare for any kind of situation. But we do see them potentially rotating bot, so we're going to make our way down. I'll try to shield and throw tornadoes to delay their push while my team recalls. And I also leave a ward here once again, because if they start sieging, having vision of this entire area is going to be incredibly useful. Evelyn's got this side covered, so that's quite nice. I sweep this area just to make sure that they didn't ward anything on us. Nothing really happened. But Evelyn's gonna go in right here. So I get a really long channel tornado that hits pretty much everyone on their team, which is quite good. Now, I see that, once again, MeNoHaxor's ulting, but I'm not in the position to go for an ult to save the Evelyn. So at this point, I kind of just accept Evelyn's death. And I only ult here to stop the Zac from jumping into our team. And I'm going to keep on channeling to full duration. Cast a redemption, which I probably could have casted a hair earlier. But I don't think it's that big of a deal. Here, actually I want to replay that really quickly. I'm sorry I'm not very good at camera control in team fights. But I just wanted to note that you can see for a lot of tornadoes I'm landing, I'm being very, very patient with it. Like, I'm getting a very long duration off before I launch it instead of just throwing a quick tornado at the Poppy. And I think that's going to be very key in this fight, because you can see that one tornado delayed a lot of the quirky damage there. You can see that when the Zac is jumping on us again, I had the tornado. I could have launched it and hit the Zac, but not hit the quirky Ashe, but I decided to wait about one more second. And because of that, I land another tornado on the quirky, chain that CC with the trap, and now we can go in for the kill. Zac tries to jump in, but with this ward, I see him, so I go ahead and cancel that with my tornado, so the Twisted Fate gets saved. Now Caitlyn can just go in freely. So, my tornadoes, that team fight was absolutely crucial. I think it's really important to be patient with it. I think a lot of Jannas tend to just do a really quick cast tornado whenever they see a tank running up or anything like that, but I think it's even better just to be really patient with it so that you can hit their backline as well. But that requires a little bit of prediction. You have to be really careful with it. I got hit by that arrow, which is kind of random, but it's okay, I can just run out. But like I was saying, yeah, I think patience with tornadoes, what really separates good Jannas from bad Jannas, and also ult usage. So I felt pretty good about that fight. I stopped the Zac from jumping in quite a few times, so it was really good for me. Elvin's gonna go in, but he just kind of dies. This is just really weird. I think we just have to run now. MeNoHaxor goes for the flash ult on the Twisted Fate. I'm gonna try to ult them out, but this is a little bit difficult. I get another tornado stopping the Zac jump, so Twisted Fate can reset, and now we're able to kill the Zac, which is quite good. I flash after the Poppy ults me because I need to root position myself. Tornado just to delay the Poppy from CCing me, and then now I should get a shield on Caitlyn. She goes in for the kill. Fortunately, I wasn't able to shield her in time. I think my shield just came up. So I shield the Twisted Fate, land some more Tornado CC on the Poppy. Him and I are able to get the kill on Poppy, and now I'm just bolting for the Ashe, keeping vision of her, and then throwing another Tornado to CC her, while Twisted Fate gets another gold card, and we win that fight. So that fight, once again, was really good that I was just stopping the Zac jumps from hitting Twisted Fate, because once again, because Twisted Fate did not get CC'd, was able to get a gold card out much earlier, we're able to stun people. So it's really important I just stop the Zac. That's literally all I'm going to be doing in every single fight. That's my main objective. Now I finished Talisman, and I actually go for the Crucible here. And normally I think Crucible is a really bad item, and I don't think you should ever get it. But I think that in our team comp specifically, we don't have people with QSSs, which I think is... Okay, hold that thought. I get caught right here, which is really bad on my part. That was the only annoying thing about playing against MeNoHaxor, is that if you can't face check bushes like that, and I got way too greedy to get a ward over this wall, and I ended up getting caught, which is really bad. But it's not too big of a deal. We were able to establish enough vision where they can't really Baron safely, so it's fine. But like I was saying, I got a Crucible because no one on my team really has a QSX except for Chase. So if someone gets Ashe arrowed, which is pretty likely, they don't really have a way of getting out. And so having Crucible is just a really good insurance card, because I feel that's the only real way we can lose a team fight, is if someone gets arrowed and then gets caught. QSS is also important to note that, sorry, not QSS, Mikhail's does not remove MeNoHaxor's ult. Only QSS does. So if someone gets MeNoHaxor ulted, they're still very screwed. But MeNoHaxor can't really approach safely unless Ashe arrows first. So that's the major reason why I got a Crucible. Now, I'm just going to run for my life. I'm pretty fast, so I'm pretty confident the Zac can't hit me, so that's fine. And right now, we're just trying to regroup just to make sure that they don't do Baron, because Jace died before. He got picked off somewhere around here. Now, once again, drop a pink ward inside the bush, or inside the Baron, so we can get health vision of it. Poppy goes in to try to stall. I'm not really sure what she was doing, but I don't know if it really stalled them. But you can see that we're going in a bit harder now. The Baron's getting really low, and they're also very chunky, so they have to just back. So we kill Poppy. We're trying to CC the Zac, and Caitlyn actually ends up getting a headshot on the Baron, which is hilarious. So we end up somehow securing Baron, which is insane. And now we can just chase the Ashe Quirky up here, get 2 kills. That was pretty good. I didn't really do anything that fight. You can see I still hung on to my ultimate because there just wasn't an opportunity to use it at all. Like, Twisted Fate and Caitlyn pretty much poked them to death, so that was fine. Now we're just gonna go ahead and push forward. We're just gonna pretty much end the game with the Baron, really, because, like, they're all dead. We have Baron, we can take Nexus Towers really fast. And that's game. So, I would say the main highlights of this game are that it was really, really important for me to use Tornado to stop the Zac jumps. I think that the last 3 or 4 fights, the Zac was never able to jump on our backline because I was stopping him, and that really ruined a lot of their game plans. Laning phase was fine, given that we weren't very favored in the lane matchup to begin with. I think we could have played a little bit better. Like, I think the Caitlyn died a lot of times because they didn't respect MeNoHaxor at all, but I think it was fine. It was really... I think, like, I did feel pretty useful this game in stopping the Zac. That's why I picked Janna, and yeah, I think it was a pretty solid game overall. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the commentary. I think I focused a lot more about team fighting and stuff on Janna, as opposed to warding, which I'd like to talk about more, but that's okay. I hope you guys learned a bit about MeNoHaxor, about Janna, and I'll see you next time, I guess. Thanks for watching.